been a fair bit of discussion. Ivan Cleary weighed in on this yesterday. We're talking about tackling players in the air. Of course, we saw 2 incidents over the weekend. So take a listen to what Ivan Cleary had to say about this matter.
You know, originally where the rule was made, we just tend to forget why that was made and sort of drift off and it becomes something else. It's all about player safety, that rule. That's why it was brought in. I think some of the ones you've seen have got nothing to do with safety. So I think there's just a little bit of common sense needed in and around that rule. I think, yeah, as long as it's deemed safe, then yeah, I think you should get the opportunity to at least try and stop a try in that situation. But that's not going to happen now, so we just got to deal with it best we can.
Yeah, so there is that discussion whether people are trying to exploit the rules or whether this is, you know, a rule that really needs to be upheld. What's your take on this situation?
I don't know what they want. Like if you're a smaller winger, say Brian To'o, and someone jumps, is he just supposed to just let him go? The game's all about competing. Every tackle is a competition. And sometimes when they go up, it's just natural reaction where you grab someone. Like, how is that a penalty try? It's just absolutely ridiculous. You cannot referee in black and white rules, especially something like this.
Well, because it's often.
I don't even know. Like, that's not even a penalty.
It often seems like it's more of a. It's not necessarily tackling in the air. It's more of a collision in the air.
That is sensational work there from Terrell Sloan. I don't know what he's supposed to do. Just, oh yeah, score.
Well, the same happened to Xavier Coates. The problem's going to be is like Melbourne are onto it. Their coaching staff is quicker than everyone. When Harry jumped out from dummy half and just kicked it to Coates, you knew there's a problem. And then all of a sudden this got allowed a try. He nearly got there, but he actually touched the ground, so it was a double movement. But you need to be able to defend your line. And they spoke about they don't want to change rules. They're not changing a rule. They're just changing the way they rule on it, because it needs to stop before the finals, without a doubt. Like, this can't just go on into the finals and then happen over the pre-season to next year that we talk about this. It has to happen very soon.
Wasn't there one in Origin? Didn't Brian To'o get
yes,
yeah.
Sin-bin.
Do you talk about that? Do you talk about rules and how they implement it? And things you can manipulate it?
Well, yeah, obviously when there's they're ruling on something, the refs always come to the start of the season and give us a scrimmage, and they're ref bias, and they're telling us what their new interpretations are and stuff like that. So they try and work with us to explain the rules and what we can and can't do. So yeah, it's a bit of a hard one there. Luckily, I don't have to be jumping up and contesting. I'll leave that up to me.
Well, Brian To'o's about your height. Could you imagine? Yeah, it's impossible. I'd Xavier Coates this weekend.
It'll be interesting how it plays out, because like they'll want to win. Melbourne want to win. They want to finish in the top 2, so they'll use the tactic. They have to.
Because the thing is, it
can't fail.
Exactly. So why wouldn't you? If that's going to give you a winning advantage.
Like, it's a try.
It's all about player safety. Unfortunately, there's going to be injuries. Accidents happen. It's like you chase the kickers. You get the gut buster to get there and you can't hit them. Yeah,
I've had a couple
So they just stand on the advantage line and kick at 60.
So what would be the better way for this rule to then be interpreted?
Well, it's close. If it's a try-scoring situation, the rules don't apply.
No, you just can't put someone in a dangerous position. As simple as that. Like Ivan
sometimes
said,
it happens.
Unfortunately. It was about a safety issue. So originally the rule was you couldn't tackle. So, for instance, if Brian To'o went up for the ball, you couldn't tackle Brian. But then they turned it into the attacking player as well, because teams were standing back and then coming in hard. And there was a little bit of a safety problem, because you'd have to come in hard to knock them over the dead ball sideline or wherever you want to knock them to. So then they changed the rule that both people competing for the ball couldn't be tackled in the air. And now at the moment we've just realised, you know what, the smash rate not a great rule, because if you've got someone who's tall, then you just need to kick to them in the end goal, and if they catch it, it's a try. You can't stop it.
Do they consult coaches and players?
Yeah, but it's just a rule that... I can't believe, actually, it's only just happened. Like, I'm sure there would have been a lot of times prior where the rule was just in the background and people got held up, but nothing happened. But all of a sudden, it's just come to a point. And I reckon it was Origin with Brian To'o, and now I think now they have to rule on it. The one with Tyrell Sloan, like, he had a hand on him. Like, seriously.
And they're the ones that maybe need to be interpreted a lot different to what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, well, they don't need to change the rule. They just need to change the interpretation, that they change the interpretation.
All right, let's talk about sprays.
They need to change the interpretation.
Yes.
Yeah, it's real simple. Pretty simple game, rugby league.
Well, we get into the nuts and bolts of it here on the show, so we're talking all things. Sure best sprays on the footy field. We saw Mitch Moses absolutely giving it to Talon De Silva late in their win over the Cowboys on Sunday night. It was very passionate, that's for sure. So we wanted to ask you guys whether you have seen or whether you've been the giver or the receiver of an ultimate spray on the footy field.
Yeah, me being a dummy half, I cop a fair few every week because if the ball goes right, it should have went left. And this happens more often than not. A halfback demanding the ball, and especially of the calibre of Mitch Moses when he wants the ball. So yeah, look, it happens every second tackle pretty much as a dummy half. With Hudson Young, he gives me a couple every time, every game. So yeah, look, it happens most weeks in an NRL team, and yeah, it's just part of the game and part of it. Do you bite back? Yeah, most times, yeah. It's always good when someone wanted the ball left and we go and score right, so I can just turn around to them and
just have a little glance.
See that. So yeah, it happens all the time for me personally.
It's the most important combination on the field, the dummy half and the first receiver, or the playmaker or the halfback, because that's where it all starts. So I totally get it. And in a world where, you know, we've got snowflakes and every word offends people, on the field it's different.
I think a lot of people enjoyed it.
Well, of course they should. I mean, back in the day, some of I heard, like your coach, Ricky Stewart, giving it to people, his own teammates and oppositions. This one here, James Gray, that was just sensational.
There'd be certain players that
It happens all the time. One thing I guarantee, with the game on the line in the fifth tackle, Talon De Silva will never run the ball when Mitchell Moses wants it. He would have learned.
I reckon there's a James Graham or a Sam Burgess or one of those really, really strong players. That's when I'd be going, oh, sorry.
Poor old Bedsy copped some sprays like you wouldn't believe.
I can imagine.
That was just the training.
Freddie,
sorry, Beds.
Did you?
Got plenty. Gave plenty.
Remember,
if you ask Fitzy,
he used to terrorise his back rowers.
Yeah.
When you're playing against, you could just hear him screaming at his own.
Fitzy used to get hammered because he defended inside me for like 5 years towards the end. So if they were trying to get plays at me, I'd be screaming at Fitzy non-stop, abusing him. Because Fitzy was like a dog. He'd always want to tackle, like chasing a ball. I just go, mate, you got to hold back. They're coming at us.
It's the competitive players that want to win. It comes out like that.
That's what it is.
There was a moment where I was playing in Melbourne, and I think they were giving us a bit of a thrashing, and Cam Munster was into his team, and they were beating us quite convincingly, like in the last 5 minutes of the game. And you go, well, that's NRL football.
That's his standard.
That's the standard.
Yeah.
So you pick up little things like that. So good old fashioned sprays always good.
Yeah.